So it's just one of those things. Have to use a calculator to figure risk and loss. Yeah, that echo. And again, it is what it is. If you don't mind, I'm going to tell you guys. And I'm not going to give any names on YouTube, but I was watching a video yesterday. And the day, no, I think they were both yesterday. And this particular person, and again, I'm not going to give any names, is the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my life, but it's fine. Okay, here's how they claim it works. They claim that there's absolutely nothing to win rates. Win rate means absolutely nothing because keeping a win rate means that you have a big stop loss and a small take profit, and over time you will never be profitable, which is, I mean, if anybody's been here with me all this time, you realize that's absolute nonsense. Not the truth at all. But they also said there's absolutely nothing that an entry matters. So entry doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter where you enter. Doesn't matter where you get in the trade at all. You can enter anywhere, right? And then they left it to exits all that matters. And here's their strategy. And I'm gonna tell you guys, and if anybody has traded anything, you guys realize, and that they're trying to get onto new traders. You know what I mean? And new traders absolutely believe in entries, and that's what they're going against, is that entries are all crap. There's no point. There's no reason to look at entries. Yada, yada, yada. We had to close above. Let me look at this real fast. No. God, gold's being a... Okay, go on. Okay, so entries, they try to say that everything is a fake. Everybody's fake because all they concentrate on is entries and not exits and yada, yada, yada. So here's their strategy, right? And anybody who's traded, and this is why novices fall for stuff like this, anybody that's traded before understands how this is going to work. All right? Watch, that had to be some of the worst advice I'd ever heard. Okay. So what they said was you enter, right? Where do you enter? Don't matter. You can enter anywhere, right? And you put a 10 tick stop loss on your trade. All right. If you get hit, well, it happens. You take stops. That's trading. Okay. Now, if it goes into profit, then what you do is you're trading on the 1 minute, let's say, and if it goes into profit, then you go and manage it on the 5 minute, and if it goes into profit, then you go and manage it on the 30 minute or 15 minute, and then the 30, then the hour, then the daily, and now your trade is turned into 1,000 tick, 2,000 tick, 5,000 tick trade over the next week because you pulled it in profit. Now, you guys know this as much as I do. I will, I'll tell you all right now, go on your NASDAQ chart, right? And open a trade wherever you want. It doesn't even matter. Wait until 23 minutes after the hour and open a trade, whichever way you want to go, flip a coin and put a 10 tick stop loss and tell me what happens. Most absurd thing I ever heard of. And I gotta be honest with you. Novices are going to believe these things. And they're going to be buying his course and paying his mentorship and everything else. And it is absolutely insane. I have an 89% win rate today and $800 profit. Do I have to give it back? Yeah, Sonny, if you got an 89% win rate, you're not trading right. Because, you know, if you have anything over a 51% win rate, there's absolutely no reason, and you're even supposed to have less than that, maybe like a 30% win rate. So that's just that's absurd, Sonny. What are you talking about right now? No, Sonny, good job. Good job. And that's how it should be, guys. I'm sorry, I don't believe in all that. You guys already know. Super, super, super crazy. Yeah, you can open 1 million trades and try to get lucky with one. Good luck. If you think that's going to make you profitable, you open a trade for 10 tick stop loss for ever and try to drag your stop and hope that it plays out for the next 20 weeks. More power to you. I bet you lose a lot. Luck eventually runs out. You are right. You are right. If you catch one, you think you did the best thing there ever was, but it is what it is. Again, and if there's people out there that trade this way, more power to you. Not any way I'm gonna trade. Like I said, that's just I trade. I do have a, you know, higher win rate, guys, and I do that with bankroll management. So it's got nothing to do with R to R. It's got nothing to do with anything else. Do I want to trade to run? Absolutely. That's why I use bankroll management and not R to R, because I absolutely do drag stop losses. I absolutely do want the trade to run, but at the same time, entry is very key in where you're trading at, you know. So this person says entry means absolutely nothing. You have a 50-50 chance no matter where you enter in the market. Some people believe this. I agree. I disagree with that. And the reason being because we trade where people's stop losses are, where the orders are sitting. That's the whole point. And it's not a point of the market going one way or another, because the person's trying to say, oh, well, you can't predict the market. You can predict the reaction. You may not be able to predict the market per se, but you can predict the reaction, I'm telling you, because you know where people entered the market. All you got to do is watch your candles. You know where people are entering, and you absolutely know where their stop losses are. Once their strategies, their entries begin to fail, you can trade back into their entry and hope for their stops to get ran. If they don't, you got TP1 and your stops in profit. If the stops are ran, happy days. You know, I'm going to give a Tino quote. Happy days. You pull your stop loss and let it run. You know, it's super simple, guys. It's super simple here. I don't get it. G-Flock, I don't even remember what the guy's name was. I'm not going to shout out any names. I don't know what it matters.
I DM'd them what it was, reality. I know who you're on about.
Oh, you are? Okay.
I sent a DM.
Beautiful, beautiful. If you know, great. Okay, okay.
The way he trades is just, again, it works for him, and I appreciate that. But he's got lots and lots of capital behind him. So
yeah.
For what we do, channel, especially dealing with funded accounts, it's impossible to trade the way that that guy trades.
I think you're talking about somebody else, but yeah, that's fine. He says the same kind of things. I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. I think.
They're all the same.
Yeah, they are. They are. All these traders are the same. All joking aside, Mark Douglas says you always have 50-50. Okay, and I'm not going to say that if that were the case, G-Flock, okay, then there's no such thing as probability. Yeah, I'm just saying. You know what I mean? That it's fair to say, Jeff, if you're here, you can vouch for this. It's fair to say also that if you have pocket aces and the guy beside you has pocket kings, that probability is 50-50, because an ace or a king could come on the board, but it's not. It's not 50-50. That's the whole reason that we play the game, is because we are trying to keep a advantage or an edge with what we're doing, and that's the whole point, right? So that's what the whole thing is. You're supposed to be using your edge. Can you say it's 50-50? I guess if you're saying what's going to happen next, obviously any point in the chart, you have a 50% chance of it going up or a 50% chance of it going down. You know, that's true. However, when you add more into the equation, now you're talking about where, you know, you're trading the probability in order to achieve your edge, in order to take advantage of your edge. And what is your edge? Well, I mean, that's completely up to each trader, right? Our edge is the fact that we know that there's stop loss is sitting there and we expect that the price is going to push up. We need all these things met. We need the top wick to be there so there's range to recover. We need the bottom wick to come in to grab the stops before it comes up and grabs the high of said candle. Why? Because we've seen this happen time after time after time. You're going to give poker another shot. Yeah. Yep. But in that, and I know there's traders out there, and I'm sure some are listening right now, and I've got friends that are exactly this way. They claim that your strategy has absolutely nothing to do with trading, and it's all your psychology. Again, I don't agree. I don't believe there's psychology in trading at all. When you talk about psychology in that aspect, for me, I call it discipline. I've been over this a million times. I call it discipline. You have a setup, you have an entry, you take it. That's it. That's absolutely it. As long as your strategy is a profitable strategy, i.e., either a win rate that is higher than 50% or a take profit system that is more than your stop loss. Those are the two ways to get ahead. That's really all there is to it. And you got to figure out which one works for you, what strategy works for you. And as long as you're doing those things, then at the end of the day, it's the setup's there, the entry's there, you take it, you won. That's it. And people say, well, you didn't win the trade. Who cares? Not what it's about. It's not about winning the trade. And maybe that's where psychology comes in. I call it discipline, because you're disciplined to take the exact same setup and entry every single time because you know this works. That's it. It's discipline. You don't do nothing more than that. And if you do it, you won. Why? Because over the next 6 months, over the next year, if this is a profitable strategy, then you will add to your bankroll. That's it. That's all you're trying to do at the end of the day. You're just trying to be profitable. So that's exactly how I look at it. I don't know where psychology comes in at. I don't know why people say psychology rather than discipline, because to me it's just discipline. And then some people say, well, no, it's psychology because you're this or that. I don't get it. If you have a system and you're following it, then it shouldn't matter. Now, if you've sat here for the last 2 days and haven't got a setup, or got a setup and no entry, and now you just start, double barreling entries, then yeah. But again, is that psychology, guys? Or is that discipline? I mean, why are you taking trades when your setup and your entry's not there? Yeah. And that's how I look at it. It's the same thing. Yeah. But what I don't like is when you say discipline, it makes you feel different. You know what I mean? Like, and we go into the whole thing with the generation now in comparison to our generation, right, Paul? When you say psychology, you like to say, oh, well, the whole reason that my son acts this way, it's a psychological problem. It's ADHD. But in our time, it was the whole reason my son your son acts this way, because it wasn't ours that acted this way, right? The whole reason your son acts that way is because of discipline. It's the same term, but now it makes it sound bad. Oh, well, I'm trying to coddle him because of ADHD, or I haven't used the belt on him enough, so it's my fault, right? And I feel like that's what they do with trading, and this is why people don't like it. Because when I say stuff like that, when I say, okay, and I mean, it's hard facts, right? When I say, okay, they say, oh, well, I try to trade, all these trades. Well, was your setup and your entry there? Well, I'd been sitting and I have to make my money today. Okay, so why did you take trades when your setup and your entry wasn't there? If you don't have a trade, you just skip on it. Oh, no. I have to make X amount of money. I can't pay my bills without making X amount of money. It's just a psychology problem, they'll tell you. No, That's a discipline problem. You can't control yourself. You have a problem with, controlling, yourself from trading. It's kind of impulse control, right? That's where the problem comes in at. And impulse control is not a psychological problem. It's a discipline problem. You know what I mean? Yeah. Psychology, in my opinion, giving it a term psychological problem, it is like giving it an excuse. Just saying, okay, well, my psychology isn't exactly right. But when you say my discipline isn't exactly right, well, that's like you looking yourself in the mirror. Okay, well, you did this. You got to go in the mirror, point at yourself. You did this. It wasn't because I'm weak in my mind. It was because you, I'm not going to use the word, but you effed up, right? And that's how you have to do some of this stuff. He didn't get a whack on his head at the right time. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Sam. And that's the whole thing. And I mean, I'm not trying to be hard on anybody or anything else, but until you get yourself in line, right? And this is why I always say the absolute only thing that matters in this game, and I'm going to tell you 100%, my opinion, the absolute only thing that matters in trading, and Jeff, you can stand behind this on poker as well, is consistency. And that's 100% true. You cannot have consistency without discipline. So until you can meet your discipline needs in order to keep yourself consistent, you will never be profitable. Never going to. And it's that easy. I don't care what system you trade. I don't care what secret freaking strategy that they came up with. It's, here, there, and everywhere. It doesn't matter. None of it matters if you don't stay consistent. You have to consistently do the same thing day after day after day after day. Does it get boring? Yeah. Yeah. Nobody said that every trade you're going to enter on and get a 5,000 tick move. It just doesn't work that way. It's just not the case. So many of you guys watch all these YouTube videos and you say, oh, $1 to $1 million. He bought a Lambo in the first week. Did that really happen? I have no idea. Could it have? Yeah, absolutely. And then he lost, his wife, his family, his car, and everything else, a month later. They got this thing called beginner's luck. And that's the saddest thing there is, right? Because then people do these things and make all this money real fast. And a lot of these guys, they end up that way. Make all this money real quick and then they lose it all back. Why? Because they were never consistent in the beginning. It just ran. I watch all the YouTube videos. I'm disappointed I'm not a crypto millionaire already. Yeah. Yeah, Sonny, you know where I'm coming from. Sonny, you've been in the game long enough to understand exactly what I'm saying. And any of you traders that have been here and have been in this market, you all understand. So you new people, just listen, right? And really take it to heart. And I realize a lot of you aren't going to want to. A lot of you are watching these other guys and everything else. And I'll tell you something about these other guys that are different than me, right? I don't sell anything, guys. Ever. Why do I have to lie? I have nothing to sell you. I've got no sales pitch here. Everything that I do is free. Every Discord, all these mentorships, all these coming here live every single day, spending 8 hours of my day on a live stream, trading with you guys, helping you, teaching. That's all free, guys. I have nothing to gain by telling you, what I'm talking about right now. I just want you to succeed. That's it. All the rest of these guys, they're all selling courses. They're all selling mentorships. They're all selling, Patreon into their secret group and yada, yada, yada. So, of course, they want you to think that you're going to be rich by the end of the week. Because, geez, for $299 a month, you better be rich, right? So just take it to heart, guys. Just nobody should be charging for anything. All joking aside, if they're trading, there's absolutely no reason you should be taking traders' money. You do enough of that in the market, and that's why I give back. What do I do the whole time in the market, guys? You know, you feel bad about it sometimes, I'll be honest with you. I enter trades. I know that I'm entering at their stop losses. These guys' stop losses are getting hit, and I'm profiting. So why would I not give back to make sure that the people that are here with me paying attention aren't the people that I'm taking money from? Right? So,
yep.
Anyway, let's get on with what we're looking at here. It's Friday, guys. It's Friday. Don't mind me. Pay them 200 euros a session. Oh, jeez. Yeah, a lot of people think they have brain issues today, G Blusky. It's sad, right? It really is. Reality wants to give us money. Yep. Yep, exactly. I want you guys to succeed.
Yep. That's the difference. That's the big difference.